Now that we've set up the infrastructure for our validator node, we're going to configure the server process that runs the validator, okay? But we need to set up a few other things before we do that. So the next thing is going to be the Ethereum node, okay? Because our validator is going to talk to an Ethereum node to get a connection to the blockchain so they can talk to our Oracle contract and fetch other data from Ethereum, okay? So we're not going to run our own Ethereum node. That would be very expensive to do. And it would be, it would just be a big headache. So we're going to get one for free. With Alchemy. Okay, so there's a link down below where you can sign up for Alchemy. Click that link, register, and you'll see your dashboard to create a new app where you get a new connection to Ethereum. So once you've set up Alchemy, or once you signed up, excuse me, go to your dashboard, okay, and then you see the apps tab up here. Click on Create App. All right, I'm gonna call this chainlink-kovan, okay, and then we'll call this chainlink-kovan. I'll say masterclass. You can call it whatever you want to, but I would indicate that it's Chainlink and it's the Kovan test network, just to just it's good to name things properly whenever you're setting up an environment like this. Okay, so environment, I'm gonna click staging. All right. And for network, I'm going to click Kovan, all right? So click create app, and boom, there you go. So this will manage all the connections for your Kovan test network connection for this chainlink-kovan node, all right? So you can look at the settings for this right here. Let's see, click view key, all right? So my key's partly hidden, so that's okay. Anyways, this is just a test. So you'll copy this URL because we're gonna use it when we set up our validator node, and this is going to basically be your connection to Ethereum. All right, so now we have this connection, and we're going to go back to this part right here to set up the actual process that runs the validator node. Okay, so we're going to follow the Chainlink documentation for that and do everything on a remote server. So here's the Chainlink docs. I'm going to put a link to the description below. That'll show you how this works. Okay, so we're going to do this with Docker. Okay, so Docker is basically something that allows us to configure our system with all the environment that we need. That's a terrible explanation, but basically what I mean is Docker solves the problem of like, hey, this works on my box, but it doesn't work on somebody else's box. So what Docker does is make sure that your environment is consistent, no matter if you're going to run it on your laptop, on your server you just set up, your friend's server, et cetera, et cetera. It uses these things called images. And also containers to make sure that everything's set up properly. So basically, you build a container based on an image, and that makes sure that your validator is going to run exactly like it needs to. So I'm going to use the Ubuntu settings here because we're using Ubuntu on our server. Okay, so I'm really just going to copy this, okay, and then go to our terminal here that we've SSH into our box. So I'll bump this up. Again, so make sure you SSH into your server, just like I showed you in the last section with your port mapping here. Okay. So actually, I'm just going to copy this one at a time. So I'll just copy this. So curl, what it does is it makes web requests. So this is going to basically fetch Docker and install it. Okay. So I actually just did this off screen. So it's going to tell me that I've already done it. But you will download it and you'll see a success message. It might take a few seconds, maybe 30 seconds to a minute, something like that. But that's the first step. Then basically we're going to do sudo user mod. Okay. Basically, it's going to allow us to run Docker commands, and then we need to exit. So this will exit our server. Okay. So we need to log back in. We basically have to reset our connection because we did this right here. So let's SSH back in. You need to get your password. All right. So I'll copy mine off screen here, paste it in, and then boom, there we go. So the next thing we want to do is create a directory. So we're going to use Kovan. So this is going to create a special folder for our project. So mkdir, or makedir, it stands for make directory. It's a Linux command. So this is the home flag. So basically in your home directory / here's your new folder. It's going to be called .chainlink-kovan. So it's got a dot in front of it. It's just kind of convention for this type of thing. So let's copy this, and we'll go here, paste it in. Okay, then we can do ls to see all the directories in here. Okay, so we can say ls-l, and it'll show the ls-al. Okay, and then we can see the chainlink-kovan here. So ls basically just lists all the directories. So these dot files are hidden files and directories. They don't show up whenever you do ls. You have to do ls-al. So that lists everything, your dot files and your hidden directories like chainlink-kovan. So we can see that we're in the root folder as designated by this little tilde here. Okay, so we say cd .chainlink, and you can do chainlink and hit the dash and click tab, and it'll autocomplete to Kovan. Okay. So now that we're inside of here, we're gonna create an environment file. So this is basically just a file that stores a bunch of secrets. Okay. So I'm going to do the Kovan version. So echo is a Linux command that basically takes all this content, and then we can use echo to basically output this. Okay. And we can use this caret right here, this greater than sign, to put it inside a new file. Okay. So what this command does is it takes all this content. It'll echo it out, and then the output of that will go into this new file called .env. So it'll do two things in one go. It'll take all this content and then put it in this .env file. So we can really just copy this, go back to the terminal here, paste it in, all right? And then if you want to see the contents of that file, you can do cat.env. All right, that will show it to you. We can also use Vim to edit this file, so you can do .vim.env, all right? And this will open up a new Vim window to edit the file. So Vim is old school, basically way of editing files and navigating throughout files on a Linux box. So I mean, a lot of people still use Vim. A lot of people really like it. They prefer it because it's fast. You don't have to take your hands off the keyboard and all that kind of stuff. But it's a little tricky to get used to as a beginner. So anyways, I'm using the down arrows to navigate through this. Go to the very bottom. There's special Vim commands to drop lines faster and jump to the end of lines, the end of files. But I just for simplicity's sake, for beginners, I'm just going to use the arrow keys to go around. So you're not in edit mode, so you can't type anything. Oh, I guess I'll take that back. I guess you can. I guess it does put in insert mode. Hold on a second. Let's just make sure. I think I hit I is why. So what was that? Let's see here. Updater. Let me just fix this. So gas updater enabled. So I just added that mistake. Enabled. All right. So anyways, what you want to do is basically hit I to edit the file. Okay. So if I don't hit I don't think it's on it. Yeah, basically, that's weird. Normally, it shouldn't go to insert mode by default, but I guess it does. Anyways, if you want to edit it, I would recommend not typing anything when you're moving around, but hit I to do insert mode, and we can put in new content here at the bottom of the file. So the first thing we want to do is do our Ethereum client URL. Okay. So this is going to say do you want to do it on the same machine or do you want to do it on a different machine. Okay. So you could do it the way they tell you to do echo, or you could do it with Vim. Just for consistency's sake, let's do it the way they tell us to. I'll show you how to add more stuff later. So you can click escape and then do colon and then Q. Colon Q. So that'll just quit without editing anything. So just colon Q. Let's do colon Q bang. Okay. And then we'll do cat.env again. All right. So you'll see everything was there. All right. So this should be fine. Anyways, let's do this. So let's do echo. Let's see here. What I'm going to do is edit this on a text editor first, and then you can just paste it in, so it's easier for you. Because you don't want to accidentally paste this in there and then not know how to edit it. So you do echo eth URL change me. So what you want to do is go back to Alchemy. All right, go to your file here, and let's see what Chainlink wants us to do. They want it to be sorry, let's actually do a Kovan. Sorry, let me copy this, not Rinkeby. So let's do this here. Eth URL. So they want it to be a WebSocket URL. So that's important to know. Let's go back to Alchemy, go to your apps, go to chainlink-kovan, click on view key, and then click on the WebSocket URL and copy that one. Okay. So what you'll do is just copy your, paste in your Alchemy URL here. All right. So I'm going to you just don't use mine. I'll probably just delete this app after masterclass, but I'll probably delete this app, so don't even try to use this API key because it won't work. I'll copy it, go back here, and paste this in. So echo eth URL equals this long thing. All right, it's going to put it into the chainlink-kovan.env. All right, so we'll do echo .env again. Or sorry, no, it was cat.env, my fault. And you can see your eth URL here. All right, so you successfully updated this file. All right, okay, so next, let's go back to docs here and see the next step. So next is setting up your remote database config. So what you need to do is go to your DigitalOcean account and get your database credentials. All right. So you want to go to the chainlink-kovan, and then you want to click on the public network, and then choose connection parameters versus connection string. I'm going to connection string. So click copy. All right. Then go back to your scratch pad here. Paste your string. This is really bad practice for me to show you these credentials, but like I said, I'm not going to use this stuff for real. I'll probably delete it after the masterclass. So just don't try to use my database. It won't work anyway. So let's go back to documentation here for Chainlink, and so we want to find this setting where it's remote database config. I'm going to click kovan. It shouldn't really matter for this step, but well, actually, because of the folder. So we're going to copy this. We're going to take this right here and put it in our scratch pad. Okay. So echo database URL, we're going to take out all this stuff where it says Postgres. So from the P after the equal sign to the E before the closing quotation marks, we're going to copy this and then put it in here. I think we take off this SSL mode. Okay, so we're going to try it without that and see if it works. Well, let's just leave it on. So copy this, go back here and paste it in. Okay, and then we'll do cat.env to make sure it's added. Yep, there it is at the bottom. Okay, so now we have our environment set up. Right, this is the .env file that has all our secrets, the configuration for our node, so we can go to the next step. We're not going to do a secondary database for this particular setup. If you start getting like lots of jobs on a production account, then this might be something you want to look into as an optimization, but we're skip it for now. Now we're going to run the Chainlink nodes, click on the Kovan settings, copy this, go to our scratch pad, okay, paste this in here. So we need to update the version. So this just says, caret version or less than version greater than. Basically, you want to take the current version from documentation here. The time recording this video, it's 0.9.4. It might change on you later, and you definitely want to update this as a maintenance task for your node to use the latest version. Okay. So what it's going to do is it's going to run a Docker container. Okay. It's going to get the image from Chainlink's Docker registry, okay, and it's going to, like you see that here, smartcontract chainlink 0.9.4, that's the version that we did, and it's going to run it locally. So we'll just copy this and see if it works. I'm a little worried about the SSL connection with the database, but we're just going to see. So, oh, there you go. Boom, it's working. Okay, so the first time to set up, it'll hang for just a second, probably as it's doing the initial setup, but basically this is set up the database. It's like configured all the tables and stuff. All right, so yeah, it's working just fine. So yes, you want to use the SSL mode on there, okay? So I was a little unsure about that, but yeah, that's what we're going to do. So now it's going to ask you to create a new password. So this is going to be a password that you want to save for later. Okay, so I'm just going to create one on screen here. Again, if you use one password, something like that, you really want a strong password for this. Okay, so I'm going to create a new one on screen here. Give me just 1 second. Let's see your password, Chainlink. Okay, so I'm going to copy my password off screen. Okay, so let's do edit. Okay, so I've copied it, and then you can paste it in here, or you can type a new password if you want to, where you want it to be. Then confirm it. Okay, and then that will continue the setup. So what this does is it's creating the password for your validator keys. So your validator has basically an account, an Ethereum address, as a public key and a private key. It stores it in a JSON, a key store file on your server, okay? And it uses a password to lock those keys so that nobody else can use them if they have access, okay? So basically you have to enter the password to be able to use those keys, right? So then you want to save that. So if you want to name that password inside one password or something like that, you can call it, validator keys, password or something like that, okay? And so now I'm going to enter API email. I'm just going to do dapuniversity@gmail.com. That's my registration email. So don't email me at this email address. I never check it. Okay. So we'll do this, and then I'll do API password. So I'm going to generate a new password for this as well. So I would recommend doing a separate password for this for sure. So let's see here. Don't use the same password as your validator keys. Okay. Okay. So. Okay. Copy this and paste in your password here, and then boom, there you go. It's starting to boot up. All right. Okay, so you'll see some initial setup here. It'll take just a second for it to kind of catch up. But yeah, there we go. It's tracking. All right. So yeah, your node is running. So what we can do is go to localhost and connect to the API. So we can open a new tab here. I'm actually doing an incognito tab. So the port is, let's just actually copy this from the documentation. So localhost 6688. Because you SSH'd in with that port mapping, you can actually enter in localhost 6688 into your browser, and it will show you that. Okay. And so now you can access your validator through your web browser like this. So just do localhost port 6688 and copy that from documentation, put it in a new window here, and you can log in like that. So I'm going to use the login credentials that I created in that previous step, click access account, and then boom, there you go. You are logged into your validator dashboard. Okay. So we're going to go over this here in a minute about like what all this stuff means and how it works. But for now, we'll just know that you have access. Okay. All right. So now your validator node is running, but you do have a little bit of a problem, which is you're just seeing this all the time. And so how do you stop your node? How do you start it? How do you get to run in the background? Okay. So that's what I'm going to show you right now. So I'll show you to stop the node first. So just click Control-C. That will kill the process. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to monitor Docker processes on your server. So you can do Docker PS. Okay. So this will show you the container ID. The container is basically the ID of the Chainlink validator process running on your computer. So there's nothing here. That's okay because it's not running. You do the image. So this is what the image is built from. The command that was used to start it, I believe. When it was created, the status, the ports, and any names you give it. Okay. Let's go back to your scratch pad here. And let's edit this. So I'm going to edit this to chainlink-kovan docker run-p. So what we're going to do at the end is let's do docker run. Let's do -d. I believe that's going to work. Let's try that. I think it'll work right there. Okay, so copy this, put it here. And so what it's going to do is run it in a detached state. And so check the description down below. I'm going to put these commands in here. All right, so this is going to be I'm gonna show you some commands to add so you can quickly like restart your node in the background, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so we're gonna do vim, so tilde / bash and hit tab, bash rc. Okay, so this is a file that's gonna let you execute commands, okay, from your terminal. It's got a bunch of settings inside of it, but what we're gonna do is actually create some aliases that's gonna let us run these Docker commands. We don't have to type them out like crazy. Okay, so hit insert. So click I on vim, and then paste in this. So this is gonna give you an alias for restarting your kovan node called kovan-primary. Okay, it's going to run the Docker command to start your node with the current version. Again, you can update this later if the version changes. So the version 0 to 9.4 here. It's going to kill any old stuff, right? Yada, yada, yada. It's also going to do your env-file. It's also going to have a password file that we're going to create in a second to store your validator password, okay? And then next we're going to do alias tail so we can like watch the logs later, and then also follow, which we'll do as well. So click escape, :WQ, hit enter. All right, you can do cat, and then do source, and then do .bash rc, okay? So now we should be using the current version of the bash rc file, okay? So next we can do cat bash rc, just see what's there. So we need to create a new file, put in the password for our validator file, okay? So what you're going to do is do make directories. So do cd back here, do make dir, mkdir, / chainlink. Okay, and then we'll do touch. We'll do / chainlink, and then dot password. Okay, so that's going to be a password file for our validator key. So we'll go to cd chainlink, and then we'll do vim.password. All right, so you hit enter, and then you're going to put your password in here like abc123 with no spaces. All right, and then you're going to do escape. You're going to do escape :WQ to quit it. So I'm actually going to put in my actual password off screen here. So I'll do that right now. Okay, so let me get my password. All right, and so what you're going to do is escape :WQ, and then go cd home / .chainlink-kovan. And now what we're going to do here is do restart kovan-primary. All right, and then let's see here. So the port's already allocated. Okay, let me fix this really quickly. It looks like I already had an instance running, so let's just kill that first really quickly. So you can do just find the image container ID. All right, do this, just copy it, do docker kill, and then put that in, and that will stop it. So you can reveal that like this, docker ps, it will show it. It'll show this stuff up here, docker kill. Okay, so let's try that again. So restart kovan-primary. All right, so let's have a new name. So it will restart successfully if you have the right container name, but I think there's a conflict with that. Basically, as long as you always restart it with that command, you shouldn't have any conflict. Because I can just call restart kovan-primary again, and we won't have any conflict this time. Okay. So you can docker ps, and you can see our node is running. All right, so it's currently restarting. Let's try it again. See the status. Okay, now it is up. All right, so change the status from restarting to up. We can do, let's see here, let's look at our commands. You can see them here. You can also, again, do cat .bash rc, and then you can see at the bottom here, we can do tail, which will show the logs, okay? So we can do tail, and then do _ hit tab, tail kovan-primary. This will show us the last 10 logs, so it's running. We can also do follow kovan-primary, and this will basically, this will like show us what's going on live. So it looks like there's a problem here. It cannot open this file, this chainlink new password, so we need to fix this. And so actually, I'm going to move my password. So I'm going to move this current directory, so the env chainlink password to this current directory. So let's call it just pass. We'll do make sure we're here. .chainlink-kovan.password. Okay, we'll just make it easy. All right. So let's clear that. I'm just going to check my password off screen, make sure it's still there. You can just do cat.password in the current directory. I'm going to draw screen so I don't reveal mine, and you should still see it. All right. So now we want to make sure you've edited the commands. I'll put the updated commands down in the thing below. So let's do vim. So if you copy this the first time, it should work just fine. So I'm going to do here. Unfortunately, I have to go in this line. Again, there's a shortcut in Vim to do this. I'm not a sophisticated Vim user, so I can't remember off the top of my head. And honestly, yeah, this is the kind of things that you kind of get stuck with. I'm sure there's some really sophisticated Vim users who are watching this video and laughing, but hey, that's just the state of things. So we'll do home, insert, .chainlink. Okay, and then do this. And so again, if you're watching this video and you copy the resources down below, then you should already have that. So let's do cat. Okay, so we can see the updated directory here. Okay, so let's try it again. So we'll do restart kovan-primary. All right, so docker ps. So you can see it's up seconds ago. Just make sure, yep. So we'll do tail kovan-primary, and looks like it's working. All right, yep, it's up. Okay, so sorry about that little error with the password file. I like to leave these errors on the video actually because it just shows you that like this stuff's complicated. Even I make mistakes, and it shows you how to think through them and debug them. So yeah, your password should be secure where you are now. And again, I will update this right now so that when you have the actual resources, they are correct. So let's go ahead and do it here. So this will be sorry, let me just do it right now, and then we'll change this. Or actually, the better thing to do honestly is just do cat. Do this and do the exact one that I have so that there's no discrepancy. So copy this scratch pad, and this will be what you'll have for the resources. Add my nodes off screen to make sure it's right. And yeah, there we go. Awesome. So now your node's running. We can go back to our thing here and just, it'll probably ask you to log in again. But yeah, boom, there you go. You see it's working. The node has restarted. You can restart your node that way all the time with restart kovan-primary. All right. And you can also, tail kovan-primary. That'll just print the last, 10 lines, I believe. It's in your settings here. Yeah, 10 lines. And then you can follow it and watch it all the time. So you can like leave this set up here. You can open a new tab, SSH into it as a second screen, and then like run server commands here. Right, you can do SSH commands, move around, but you can always like watch it in a separate window. If you're using like tmux like I like to use, you can have it running in multiple panes. You can have your process on one side and then administer the system on another panel. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's the basics on how to administer your node. So in the next step, we're gonna talk about a couple of things. We'll talk about the configuration inside of here in the dashboard. Talk about setting up your smart contract to set the Oracle, how to add jobs, and all that kind of stuff. So that'll be what we cover next.